Mr. William Branch from Waseda University. The fourth speaker is Ms. Tanaka Satori from Waseda University. The fifth speaker is Mr. Kazuki Konishi from Kansai University. The sixth speaker is Mr. Mikoto Kushi from Tokyo University. The seventh speaker is Mr. Natsuki Kashima from Waseda University. The eighth speaker is Mr. Yusei Fuji from Hosei University. The ninth speaker is Ms. Lena Morata from the University of Tokyo. The tenth speaker is Ms. Tanaka Iwasaki from Ayamagakuren University. Now, the judges will enter this hall. Please welcome them with a big round of applause. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to introduce the judges of today's contest. First, Mr. Jeffrey C. Miller. Born and raised in New York City, Jeffrey Miller earned his BA and AM in Comparative Cultural Studies from Sophia University in Tokyo. He taught at St. Joseph's International School, Hokuo University, Waseda University, and worked on the Daigaku Nyushi Center test. Now, he is Professor Emeritus of Hokuo University, as well as lecturer at Seitoku University. He also was an Eikin EQ examiner 1980 to 2017, and judges the university and secondary school speech contest around Japan. Second, Mr. Teruyuki Shiraiwa. He is an English teacher passionate about researching scientific methods to evaluate public speaking and has much experience judging in eliminations and finals, including the 61st Churchill Trophy, the 51st, 52nd, and 53rd Okika, the 14th and 15th University of Tokyo ESS Trophy. He is also versed in composing music, having been the winner of the first student competition Grand Prix from more than 600 applicants nationwide, where the work was highly praised by professionals. Third, Mr. Yuya Kubota. He was a member of Waseda University ESA and Creole speech instructor. In 2014, he won the first prize at Waseda Trophy, Sukawa Trophy, Momiji Cup, and many others. Also in 2014, he won the second prize at Ikeda Cup and Hosei University, President's Cup, and won the third prize at Okika, Amano Trophy, Potato Cup, and the President's Cup of the University of the Sacred Heart. Six-time finalist of Todai Trophy and won the third prize in 2016, 2017, and 2020. The second prize and the audience prize in 2019. Besides working as a real estate developer, he enjoyed serving as a judge in various speech contests. Elimination judges are Dr. Lawrence Korn and Mr. Akira Hioki. We really appreciate all of your support. Next, we'd like to tell you the concept of the 61st Oki Cup. This year, we set a concept, Luminous. We will tell you the reason why we decided as a concept in this year's Oki Cup. The moon and stars in the night sky do not shine with their own light, yet they still illuminate our past and the darkness. In the same way, no matter how uncertain the future may be, the words and actions we believe in can become a source of hope for someone else. Gently lighting up the world in small but meaningful ways. We hope this speech contest will serve as an opportunity for participants to discover the luminous within themselves and share it with the world. This year, we, the executive committee of the 61st Oki Cup, have put feeling into concept. We have also conducted the management of the speech contest by following this concept. Then, Mr. Akua Yamaguchi, the chief of Ayamagakuin ESS speech section, will deliver the opening address. But Mr. Yamaguchi is absent today, so instead of him, Mr. Shoki Nonoyama will deliver the opening address. Mr. Nonoyama, please.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to attend the OK Cup. First of all, I would like to thank the judges today for taking time to help us judge the contestant. I hope you will enjoy listening to the contestants as they do their best to share their thoughts and give interesting speeches. Next, to all the participants, I sincerely hope that all your hard work will pay off today. We hope that all of you will be able to show all of your abilities and give glowing speeches. Last but not least, thank you to all those who came as spectators today. Please go and enjoy the national level speeches by university students. Shoki Nonoyama, Vice Chief, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nonoyama. Next, we will have the Oki Cup returned. The first prize winner of the 60th Oki Cup was Miss Sara Ashida from the University of Tokyo. Unfortunately, she is absent today, so Mr. Shunsuke Uchikawa, who is the Vice Executive Chairperson of the 61st Oki Cup, will return the Oki Cup. So, Mr. Uchikawa and Mr. Moriyama, would you come up to the stage?
Sure.
Now, the Oki Cup has been returned. Thank you very much, Mr. Uchikawa and Mr. Moriyama. Now, I'd like to explain the rules of today's contest. For the participants, when I call your name, please come up to the stage and start your speech. Each of you has 8 minutes to deliver your speech. We begin to measure the time when you start saying a word. The timekeeper will show the remaining time in the following ways. The timekeeper will ring a bell once when 7 minutes and a half have passed, twice at 7 minutes and 45 seconds, once at 8 minutes. When 7 minutes have passed, the timekeeper will ring a bell once like this. When 8 minutes have passed, the speakers have to stop delivering speeches. If a speaker exceeds 8 minutes, they will be put 1 mark down from a speaker's total rank. After each speech, we will have a question and answer period for 4 minutes. Mr. Kubota will ask questions to speakers within 3 minutes. The speakers can continue answering the question even after 3 minutes have passed, but they are required to stop answering if the session exceeds 4 minutes. For the audience, during the presentation, please do not open the door. Today's timekeeper is Kaho Matsunaga and Yuzuno Abe. And we, Yuzuha Aoki and Ryo Terada, will take the chairmanship. This contest is supported by them. This concludes the opening ceremony. Thank you for your attention. Now we are ready to start the first half of the Ogika. Everyone, I'd like to welcome the first speaker of today's contest. The first speaker is Mr. Ryoichiro Tanema from the University of Tokyo. Sorry, please wait for 5 minutes. The first speaker is Mr. Ryoichiro Tanama from the University of Tokyo. He will deliver his speech under the title of Be a Leader, Inspire Free Individuals. Be a Leader, Inspire Free Individuals. Mr. Tanama, please.
Thank you, contest chair, honorable judges, all the audience, and the organizers. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. In the fall of my first year in high school, I found myself in a surprising position. I was named captain of the soft tennis club. But the problem was, I wasn't especially skilled at tennis, nor was I a natural leader. Although I took the role, I was filled with anxiety. But then, something unexpected happened. My teammates stepped up. They took the initiative to discuss and improve my training plans, even outside practice hours. When I was overloaded with club duties, one of them stepped in and kept the team organized. Thanks to the incredible support, I was able to fulfill my role throughout the year. Years later, in university, I found myself leading again in a research group with students I had never met before. This time, everything went wrong. No matter what I tried, I struggled to gain my teammates' cooperation. In the end, helpless and honestly a little broken, I had no choice but to beg a few members for help. We somehow completed the project, but the process was anything but smooth. These two experiences taught me the real difference between successful and dysfunctional teamwork, where leaders fail to earn cooperation, leaving only a few members, especially the leader, to shoulder others' workload. The first was a great success, while the second felt like a failure. I'm sure that many of you have faced similar struggles. You may even avoid teamwork because of them. Still, as the famous saying goes, two heads are better than one. It can generate ideas that no single person could have thought of alone. So today, I'm here to uncover the key to successful teamwork, hoping all of you, as a leader, will build a truly united team and achieve groundbreaking results. Let's first consider what happens when teamwork fails. It will have two major negative effects on future society. First, leadership starts to seem like a burden that no one wants to take on. This is particularly concerning in Japan, where a shortage of strong leaders is already a well-known issue. If leadership continues to be seen as exhausting and thankless, fewer people will step up in the future. Second, even the most dedicated team members may lose motivation. When people feel like their efforts are being taken for granted or the workload is unfair, they eventually withdraw. This weakens the very purpose of teamwork: collaboration and innovation. So, why does teamwork fail? It fails when leaders don't make people feel that the team's goals matter more than their personal freedom. Every member has a life outside of the team, pursuing their own passions and interests by choice. In a way, we can think of them as free individuals. Just one act of support. They won't automatically commit to a team, just because they are part of it. For leaders, this presents a difficult challenge. How can you inspire these free individuals to contribute from the bottom of their hearts? The key is to take steps to transform them into true participants, those who stand by the team, time and time again. Leaders can achieve this through the following practices. The first step is to build strong personal connections outside of work with their team members. When people feel a sense of loyalty and trust, they are far more willing to lend a hand to their leader. As a tennis club captain, I try to talk casually, share meals, and bond over common interests with as many teammates as possible. That effort paid off. Even those who are initially indifferent to the club's management began to support me when I was overwhelmed. In contrast, during my university project, our interactions were strictly work-related, leading to shallow relationships and a lack of mutual support. The lesson is clear. Leaders should go beyond work and build genuine relationships, which motivate members to commit to the project. But even when someone steps forward to help the team, that alone is not enough. We must remember that they are still free individuals. Just one extra support doesn't guarantee another. They can choose to step back at any moment. And that's why I live by these principles in my daily life. Here's the next step. Leaders recognize their every effort, show sincere gratitude, offer praise without holding back, and make sure every member feels seen and appreciated every single time. Because when I do, they usually writing and start working with greater enthusiasm. I can tell that they no longer feel like just another member. They feel essential. They feel like they really matter. One of the greatest educational thinkers, John Dewey, once said that the deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important. When leaders fulfill the desire, members will finally become true participants. Not because they have to, but because they want to. And that's when the team becomes unstoppable. With these approaches, leaders can bring their teams together and work more effectively. Although teamwork isn't always easy, it has the power to create something truly innovative. So, I encourage all of you here to embrace leadership, not as a burden, but as a valuable opportunity, and strive to turn free individuals into true participants in your projects. Unite with them, inspire them, and bring out the best in them. Then, I have no doubt, you'll lead them to remarkable success. Thank you.
Now we have a question and answer period. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Yoshiro-san. So you talked about leadership, and in the very beginning of your speech, you showed us the two cases. One was very successful in your high school days, and another one is the failure in university. So based on these two experiences, you talked about these two steps, what leaders should do. Do you have any episode of actually carrying out these two steps as a leader after this failure in university?
After the case in university project, yes. After that group failed group work in my university, I learned that the trust and the relationship is the two most important things to succeed in group work. So after that, I learned, as the experience, I learned the importance of those two. So I'm taking it into practice. And in my group work, like in my club activities, I play the piano in my club activities, and I'm the chief of that club. So I always take it into practice.
Very good, very good. My next question is about the very first suggestion that we, the leadership, build strong personal connections aside work with their team members. But now we're in a company and some young people refuse to come to the drinking party. They never want to spend, or they never want to waste time with their bosses and their teammates after work or even in the holidays. So how should we deal with these people, these staffs?
Thank you for your question. This situation is kind of serious in recent days. As I mentioned in the speech, every person are free individuals. They can choose what to do or how to share their times or energies. So the most important thing is to share their visions or share their goals of the team. And always communicate. It is important to match the intention between the leaders and the team members. And if we do so, I think it is possible to, in this current situation, to achieve true teamwork. That's all.
Okay, so we need to share visions, is okay, but how could we do that other than the drinking party, other than the meals? Well, how should we do that?
After the two steps that I mentioned in the speech didn't work, I think the patience of the leader is the most important. So we shouldn't give up. I know that some people are difficult to open up. Some people have to use their own times instead of sparing spending times for their team. But it's important that leaders take take communication in person to learn what the team members want to do or what team members want to prioritize. So it is sometimes difficult, but leaders shouldn't stop progressing and proceeding. That's it.
Okay, maybe it's going to be the last question. So you talk about leaderships, and looking around society, maybe there would be like ideal encouraging leaders, but on the contrary, there would be some leaders who wishes to control their staffs and their colleagues and team members. They never allow things that is against will to be done, right?
Yes.
But even in that cases, like maybe that kind of like control, like kind of dictator, is doing the CEO of some company. But even in that cases, their companies shows high performance, maybe ranking the top in the industry. So if you have an opportunity to talk with that kind of dominating CEO, what would you do? What would you say to him about the leadership?
Thank you for your question. It is a tough question. It is sometimes difficult to persuade someone who has already succeeded in society. But I think such cases are rare. That rather than in the team that are well communicated and well communicated. So I think a team with dominant leader tend to fail, tend to not achieve their goals or collaborate with every members. So I think such cases are kind of rare case in society. So I think it's difficult to say to the leader, but to the CEO or something. But I think to the future leaders, I want all of you to communicate with members, and not to be a dominant leader. That's all.
Okay, so time's up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kimura. Now is the judging time. The second speaker is Ms. Moe Kokubu from Hosei University. She will deliver her speech under the title of Who Cast Magic on You? Who Cast Magic on You? Ms. Kokubu, please.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, and distinguished judges, and all organizers, and audiences. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Bibbidi, Bobbidi, Boo! With just one magic phrase, Cinderella old clothes turn into a beautiful dress. A pumpkin becomes a carriage, mice turn into white horses, and then Cinderella goes to the ball of her dreams. A moment where magic turns dreams into reality. But is this only a fairy tale? What if I told you magic of words exists in real life too? Words that can change your future? Today, I'd like to share magic of words with you. You can find your own fairy godmother, not in a fairy tale, but your everyday life. I hope that you don't give up and make your dreams come true. Now, let's open the door to magic. Before we begin, please think about your real life for a moment. I have one question. Have you ever given up on something? Maybe you want to finish assignment today. Didn't. Maybe you wanted to save 20,000 yen this month. Failed. Maybe you dream of being a doctor. Okay, but big or small, we all have experience of giving up. And we often think, I want to, but I probably can't. This is the real problem. Somewhere in your heart, you feel like giving up on your goals. Even the slightest sense of giving up influences our thoughts and actions to truly give up. According to research by Martin Seligman, when we feel powerless, the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of brain control decision-making, becomes less active. In other words, we naturally stop trying. Also, to protect ourselves, we often say things like, if only, or it's impossible, but, as a safety net. But be careful, these negative words makes lower chance of success. Psychologically, it is known as golem effect. Low expectation and negative words can shape directly our reality. So, why do we often feel like giving up? This is because the gap between our current reality and our dream. And you might feel this gap is too big to close. Actually, this has to do something within your brain called status quo bias. It's like our brain's energy saving mode. Our brain prefers to save energy and views change as risky. So it encourages us to stay the same. That's when we start to feel like giving up. But reality. Having a gap is normal. After all, dream is the opposite word of reality. However, that doesn't mean it's okay to give up. I know this from personal experience. Once I gave up on a dream, I feel fine. But I didn't. I kept wondering, if I tried harder, would the result be different? The regret stayed with me for a long time. Giving up may save us energy, but it's not the way to truly fulfill ourselves. Fortunately, my sister told me the way that we use gap to turn dreams into reality. It's very simple. Just talk about your future self. More specifically, speak repeatedly, as if your dreams already come true. It's magical words. Let me show you how it works with my attempt. On the morning of TOEIC test, my heart was racing and my mind was filled with worst-case scenarios. But instead of drawing fear, I started to speak to myself. I am calm. I can do my best. I repeated this phrase again and again. Even though I didn't believe in them at first, saying them triggered a psychological response. It is known as cognitive dissonance. My brain recognizes a gap between what I say and how I felt. And to resolve it, our brain tries to adjust our behavior to align with our words. As a result, I became more focused. I took deep breaths, let question calmly, and followed my time plan carefully. These small changes in behavior add up, and in the end, we can truly become our ideal selves. It is also supported by projection effects, which say that saying things aloud makes more memorable and impactful than just thinking them. Also, saying positive words makes saying positive words enhance their encourages and pushing us to closer to our ideal selves. And in this way, we can truly become our ideal selves. In other words can turn the gap from a barrier to growth into a template. Let me end with a story about a dream. 1 year ago, I had a big dream to stand on the stage of open speech contest. But back then, deep down, I had a sense of giving up. It felt too big to achieve because my English wasn't good enough and I was too shy to speak. I felt the gap and I could not do my best effort. Of course, the dream didn't come true. However, in this spring, I decided to believe in the magic of words. Over and over again, I told myself, I'm delivering at open speech contests. And now, in this moment, here I am, standing on the stage, speaking to you. Who cast this magic? Not Fairy Godmother. No, anyone else. It was me. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's your turn to dreams come true. Magic wand is in your hands. Your words have the power to change your future. Be your own fairy godmother. So, now that you have a speech, what magic will you cast? Thank you.
Now, we have a question and answer period. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Moe-san, talking about the dream. And so, what is your dream right now? Your dream to become the speaker at the Open Speech Contest is now achieved. So, what is your next dream?
Okay, thank you for asking. So I declare my next dream here. My next dream is to stand on the stage of Jewel Cup with no regret. Actually, I passed the Jewel Cup this year, so I want to do my best there.
Wow, congratulations. And so, what are you doing to achieve your dream in the Jewel Cup?
Okay. I changed 3 actions. First, I got more opinion as a feedback by my seniors, creative instructors, and members of my speech section. And second, I watched and read the speech who joined the Jewel Cup and other open contests, and I analyzed them. And lastly, I practiced more on my speech, especially I want to practice my delivery. So I take a video myself and to improve my delivery.
Very good. So you're now practicing, and so good luck on the Jewel Cup. So now let's come back to the OT Cup right now. Okay, so you said that it was being your dream to participate in the Open Speech Contest, but why wasn't it to win the Open Speech Contest?
Okay. Because to participate Open Speech Contest was my first goal, because before now I could not join Open Speech Contest, so it's my first goal. Yeah.
Okay, so what if, so now you are standing on stage, your dream is now achieved, but what if you couldn't win a prize here today? What would you feel? Would you be brain broken, or would you just feel nothing?
Maybe I will feel surprised and I'm so glad.
I mean, what if you couldn't?
Couldn't.
What if you couldn't win a prize?
Okay. What if I couldn't? To be honest, today I'm so glad to not stand here. So, and if I couldn't got prize, I will feel, of course, I want to got prize, but no, I don't feel so sad.
Okay. Well, at least it's going to be a precious experience, and as for the result, after all the speakers have done, we will decide. Okay, we will decide later on. So let's talk about something other than speech activities. No matter how hard we do, no matter how hard we work and practice, and sometimes we are beaten up by the reality. Like, for example, like if you were belonging to the baseball club, and your teammate was Shohei Ohtani, right? So he is just so special, he's so different, right? So no matter how hard we practice, we can't be like him. So maybe it's gonna be a dream-breaking opportunity, right? And it might be some kind of case, right? So do you have that kind of experience, beaten up by reality, and what should we do if we confront the case?
Yes, I have an experience, and I know big dreams bring big disappointment sometimes, but and it's natural to feel sad first, but even I couldn't succeed. We have get something, and please bless yourself for effort you made. These words heal your heart and prepare you to next goal, I think.
Okay, so the time has come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kibara. Thank you, Ms. Kibara. Now is the judging time. The third speaker is Mr. Louis Blanchi from Waseda University. He will deliver his speech under the title of Break the Chains of Fear. Break the Chains of Fear. Mr. Blanche, please.
Thank you, the Master of Ceremonies. Distinguished judges, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I cannot forget the words my grandmother said to me. Her voice still echoes in my mind as if recorded yesterday. My grandmother was sweet and gentle, always treating me like I was her treasure. I still remember all the places she took me, the warmth of her hand. These moments are some of my most cherished memories, my treasure. One day, as I came back from my primary school, my mother had a rather sad face. I didn't know what was happening, but soon that night, she called and told me a story, holding her tears. She told me Then my grandmother was diagnosed with stomach cancer. As I was 7 years old, I couldn't understand the full picture, but I understood that the situation was serious. From that day, she lost weight and got weaker as the cancer spread. Each time I saw her, I could see the evil hands of the cancer approaching slowly, but steadily. By the time I entered high school, she was facing the terminal stage of cancer. She slept most of the day, barely conscious because of the medication. In late July, my mother visited my grandmother and connected me and my brother through a video call. She was half asleep until my mother told her we were on the call. As soon as she heard those words, her eyes slowly opened and she woke up. She still looked weak, but spoke with a calm tone. She said, "Why don't you come here?" At that moment, I felt a silent explosion in my chest. I couldn't say a single word. I should have been next to her, but only I could do was to stare at the screen, convincing myself that I shouldn't go, because I might infect her with COVID. In the end, I didn't go. I did nothing. But I couldn't get her words out of my head. Truth be told, that virus was not the only reason. I was afraid. I turned away because I didn't want to face the reality. Accepting this meant admitting that she would soon be gone. I was too scared, so I couldn't say anything. I did nothing. A few days after that call, I received the saddest news of my life. She was gone. I cried and took the train to see her one last time. Every time I dreamt of her, I cried, understanding she was no longer here. I deeply regret not taking some actions after that call. That thank you I never told. That love I never expressed. The chains of regret started to squeeze my heart. Everyone, have you ever been so afraid that you couldn't move, even though you knew you had to? I know everyone experiences fear. Fear of loss, fear of challenges, fear of responsibility, fear of being hurt. Fear takes many forms. We fight these fears all the time, but often we can't overcome them. Avoiding pain seems like the easiest path. Without realizing it, we choose to turn away. I avoided the pain, but it came back even stronger. It was the pain of regret. Before you get trapped in regret, there are things you can do. I want everyone who battles fear to listen to this. You can break the chains of fear. First, we need to understand what fear is. Fear might have held us down, but it has helped us in many ways. It stops us from walking too closely to the edge or touching fire. We lived with it for a long time. But sometimes we need to let go of the fear and step forward. However, we need courage to say goodbye to our fear. Courage does not come from nowhere. We build it step by step. I believe the only key is to face what I call the miniature challenges. These are the smallest possible steps of courage we can take when fear shows up. Write down your feelings or talk to someone to sort out your emotions. Even just admitting that you're scared is okay. Each time you take a small step forward, you will feel a surge of courage coming inside your heart. I truly experienced this when I stepped out to start something new. When I was afraid of giving my speech, I tried these steps. I could have run away, but I didn't. I explained my feelings to my brother. I realized I was not afraid of the speech itself. I was afraid of failing in front of everyone. Once I understood that, there was only one way forward. I practiced again and again. Each action was a miniature challenge, and those small steps led me to the stage. I wonder, what if I had taken these miniature challenges earlier? Maybe I could have written a letter to tell my grandmother how grateful I was, how much I loved. These miniature challenges might seem small, but it leaves something big behind you. So let me ask you, what fear is holding you back right now? Even the smallest step today can change everything tomorrow. Step forward before it's too late. Thank you.
Now we have a question and answer period. Let's talk about that, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Louisa. So my first question is which is your theme in this speech? Fear or regret?
My main theme is about fear.
About fear, you say. But in your speech, in the title you say that the break the chains of fear, but at the middle of the speech, the chains of regret start to squeeze my heart. So I'm just very confused. Which are you talking about? Like about to conquer, overcome fear, or to decrease and ease the regrets?
Thank you for the question. My regret came from fear to not accept the death of my grandfather. So the regret comes from the fear. So my main target is to solve the fear and to prevent the audiences to have a regret in the future.
Okay. Well, you say that the regret comes from fear, but I feel like about the grandmother story and also about the speech, the episode coming out nearly about the end of the speech, it's kind of like a very different story because about speech, if you're afraid of standing on the stage, delivering speech, maybe you could have an option to not to do that and do something else. Your life goes on. But as for the grandmother, if you didn't see her, she would pass, and actually she's passed away. I feel very sorry about that, and we can't go back, right?
Yes.
It's a very different story, I think. So why I feel like, aren't you mixing up these two different types of fear?
Fear, well, I suppose to take all the fear we experience during the life, but the main story is about the regret of regret about not seeing my grandmother, and the regret about that. So I think we can have a lesson from that story. So I wanted to share that how to attack the fear, how to live with it.
Okay, so my next question is about the regret thing related to someone who's very close to us. Talking about myself, I lost my cat 4 years ago, and he was at the age of 20, very old as a cat, right? And well, I knew that inside my heart, his death is well very near, you know, and yes, he was becoming like very old, like not moving that much. His death was near. I realized that, but fortunately, I was able to see him a week before his death, and I feel very satisfied about that. I was very lucky, even though I lived away from my cat. But I feel that, I do regret right now that I should have seen him more. It was not about the fear. I didn't have that much about the fear because I knew that I was kind of like really ready to accept that the fact that my cat's death was near. But I still regret. I should have seen more. So this is not about the fear, but this is about the regret. And what kind of advice would you give to me regarding this regret?
I'm very sorry about your cat. Of course, I want to know why are you regretting not to see the cat more?
Because I love him, because even if I've seen being with him every day, but maybe even in that case, I would regret. I should have taken care more about him like that, or I should have like included him more.
Yes, well, my speech is about before you regret, not before you get regret. There's a thing you can do. So I would give advice, but well, before you lose someone who you love, tell them that you like thank you or I love you, that kind of words. So that is my advice.
Okay, so time has gone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now is the judging time. The first speaker is Ms. Haruka Kakoi from Tsuda University. They will deliver their speech under the title of Miss Haruka Kakoi. Miss Haruka Kakoi. Miss Kakoi, please.
Sure.
Oh, thank you, the master of ceremony, and everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you. It's not smart to yourself. Imagine stepping onto a stage to express who you are, but before you speak, you feel trapped. I love speech contest. I've joined in 24, including the 60s Oki Cup. Inspiring speakers, kind judges, powerful organizers, passionate audience, and even the latest Kushachuk crews were wonderful. Speech contest, our place of freedom. But again and again, I feel something strange. Miss Haruka Kakoi. It sounds normal, right? But Miss erased my identity before I spoke. Today, I want to talk about honorifics. Mr., Miss, and Max, and how two letters can define, divide, or empower us. My goal is that everyone can express their true self, starting with the word we use. But why honorifics? To prove it, let me share my journey, not just as a speaker, but as a person. I was a slight female at first. My parents often said, because you are a girl, you like playing inside, right? But I wanted to get qualified outside. Yet my mother said, girls don't do that. I was confused. Why am I a girl? At 5, I already felt deep despair. 10 years later, as a teenager, the discovery grew stronger. My body became more feminine, but I couldn't accept it. I didn't want to be a woman or man. I just wanted to be me. But people expect me to be a woman. At university, I found the word non-binary and learned I wasn't alone. In Japan, 2.5% of people are non-binary, more than the transgender population. But that only includes who would speak up. What about those who stay silent without language or safety? Like me, they were unseen. Then I noticed small signs. I thought the option on the form were quite safe in the news. Maybe the world is starting to listen. Then I found something that sets me free. English speech. On stage, I felt alive. I was not the one I got to hear. However, 2 letters still trapped me. I was the first speaker at the freshman speech contest. So nervous, deep breaths. Miss Kakoi, please come to the stage. Sure, I answered. But something felt off. Miss, I had heard it many times, but under the spotlights, it felt different. The first prize goes to Miss Kakoi. Even after winning, Miss echoed louder than the blues. It's not so much yourself. But I stayed silent. My freedom was taken away again. Looking back, every African girl, every miss was the same issue. Being labeled by gender. And this isn't just personal. Beyond uniforms, rules, and code decisions. In 2024, I'm not very personally asked to change every story, the first child. The court said no, not because it was impossible, but the system wasn't built for us. In Japan, systems still assume that gender is fixed. But the world is more diverse than that. And it's time our system caught up. You might say, only 2.5%? Does it matter to me? But have you ever trapped by a level like Eva-san, pretty girl, strong man, or just normal? Or being said, oh, you're from Osaka, say something funny, nandayane. Sorry, I didn't hurt you. We laugh, we joke, but when we are saying not for ourselves, it hurts. One survey showed that over 40% students said such levels have hurt them. Now, here's the difference. You can't change your hometown or growth order, but honorifics. We should be able to choose that. Honorifics are just words, but they decide how we see each other. Fortunately, we have a solution. Max, a gender-neutral honorific. It's used in the UK and uses title rapidly. Change is happening, except in Japan and contests. When I first asked to use it, I heard whispers. What's that weird word? They didn't mean to hurt me, but I felt exposed, not included. Choosing Max shouldn't mean standing out. It should be normal. Last year, on the same stage, I spoke up for others. One for all for one, I said. But today, I speak for myself and everyone, this leveled. If system won't lead a change, then we must. Everyone, let's rethink how we use honorifics. Contest organizers, please include Mr., Ms., and Max, all standard, not special, but normal. Last year, when I joined this contest, I asked the organizer if Max was possible. Since then, it is optional in this contest. A small request made a big difference. Even non-ISIS member can act. Ask what someone prefers. Use Max when it fits. In Japanese, we already use some, gender-free and respectful. Max can be like that. We can write all the rules overnight, but we can start with one word, right here, right now. My speech ends, but our conversation continues. This isn't just about honorifics. This is about dignity, choice, and respect. When I was called Miss Harukakoi, I felt trapped. But today, I stand here as Max Harukakoi because I choose it. This choice should belong to everyone inside. It's my true self. Words are luminous. Each one carries its light. So let's build a future where everyone shines. Thank you.
Now we have a question and answer period. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Haruka-san. Or maybe this san would be the kind of like a max in the type of Japanese. Okay, my first question. So you suggested us to have max as an option, right? And you are already called from the chairman as max Haruka-kakoi. So now your speech, your suggestion is achieved, right? What else would you wish?
So yes, I thought of that because in some contests Max is already optional, but I want to, as a next step, I want to spread the idea there was an option of Max because I think some people are afraid to use it because no one uses it, or so I want to spread the option. So that's why I wrote the speech. So yeah, knowing is mine.
Okay. Actually, a few years ago, maybe surely before you delivered this speech, I judged some other contests, and all the participants, all the judges were called Max. So I was called, introduced Max Yuyakoda. I feel very weird, man. I feel very weird. I wanted to call Mr. Yuyakoda as I was called during my university days as a speaker and before as a judge. So maybe in the extreme case, some contests would just only call Max blah 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 to all the applicants, all the speakers, all the judges. And that might cause the kind of another problem. So what would you suggest to those contest organizers?
Okay, so actually, when I organized the contest twice as an executive chairperson, we have no honorifics, just their name or just Max. So I think it is not a bad thing, but I think, but after the speech, I realized that having a choice is more important than nothing. So yes, having an option and respect your choice is important in these days contest.
Okay, well, I would feel like if I was just called the judges, Yuyakoda, I would just feel rude, and also if I was called Max Koda, I would feel weird, so maybe we could have a various options, right? So my next question, who is the target of your speech? Who are you focusing on? Is it only to the ESS students, including the contest organizers, or to all the English speakers?
So actually, I will speak. First, I wrote as in my last year, so I wanted to write for ESS members, but after the first, maybe the last Sophia Cup, some speakers, some audience said that I didn't know that there's such an option. So I think my last mission as ESS member was to spread this idea, and there's a new gender neutral honorifics, and we have to respect their choice. So maybe I think it is speech for everyone is loved.
Okay, so in the previous contest, you had an opportunity to send your message to those who are not ESS members. So maybe that is what part of your success, right? Okay, maybe my last question. Let's just move a little bit away from this Mr. and Max. Let's talk about Miss and Mrs. So, for the male, we're always called Mr., no matter whether we're married or not. But on the contrary, women are called Miss if they're not married yet, and Mrs. if they're married. Maybe we have Miss as an option, but why do we just have a different honorifics only for women? And also not only about English, maybe it's the French, we had like, for like male, we have monsieur, and over for female, mademoiselle and madame, right? So why is it different among male and female?
So maybe I learned about Miss. There is Miss and Mrs. Married or married. So in life, I think there is a long history about, so more than the history of Max. Maybe the Max was produced in 1970s, but Ms. or Mademoiselle is this for a few hundred years. Maybe the history is a difference, but I think we can change, like Mrs. I think we no longer use this at school, but I think Max can be like that, so we can spread in using it in the daily conversation.
Okay, I wonder how we could do in like other language other than English, like yeah, as they mentioned French. But anyway, the time's gone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Now is the judging time. The fifth speaker is Mr. Kazuki Konishi from Kansai University. He will deliver his speech under the title of Let's Graduate from Marriage. Let's Graduate from Marriage. Mr. Konishi, please.
Sure.
Thank you, the Master of Ceremonies and distinguished judges. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
You don't understand. No, it's you. House, who will you stay with? Mom, what time? I was only 3 years old. My parents' house, working out in the middle of the night. I couldn't understand what was going on. Suddenly, I was forced to make the hardest choice in my life. I just answered, I'll stay home, and went back to sleep. The next morning, she was gone. Where's Mom? Is this because we argued last night? If I had said, I would stay here, Mom. Would she still be home? That 3-year boy got bothered again and again. Was it my fault? Did she leave me because of a street dancer? Fortunately, she came a few days later. However, even now, when I come across someone's aura or shouting, that anxiety and self-disgust flashback. According to the Japanese Psychological Association, 64% of parents answer, we argue even in front of children. This means almost 2 out of 3. It may happen in your home. Today, I'd like to share the huge influence of parents' arguments. To all parents, and future parents, and children who suffer from parents' arguments, let's rethink marriage and protect yourself and your children. A licensed psychologist, Dr. Yohei Inoue, mentioned that parents' quarrels have 3 impacts on children. First, psychologically, children are frightened and traumatized by their parents' yelling. Some children believe that conflict was their fault, leading them to self-denial. Second, physically, sleep deprivation caused by trauma stops growth hormone production, leading to obesity and weakened immune system. Third, emotionally, Children raised around conflicts became fearful and anxious and lose control of their emotions. Their childhood trauma makes them assume that people close to me will hurt me. They try to push others away and call the words to defend themselves, leading to more arguing. As a result, they grow up unable to control their emotions. So, they easily start arguing in front of their kids and traumatizing them. Marital conflict has long-term and widespread awful consequences for children. Daily arguments between spouses create a negative spiral. Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, mentioned that when the distance between two people becomes too close and they interfere so deeply, that it causes arguments. Especially this is true for married couples who spend a long time together. They tend to find each other's bad points. Also, they expect each other to understand without speaking. So, when a partner acts differently than expected, that causes conflict. 10 years ago, while watching TV with my family, I saw a program about graduated marriage, sotsukon in Japanese. It's not divorce. It means couples don't interfere when it's necessary. For example, a husband does housework just for himself, and a wife does housework just for herself. When I learned about graduated marriage, I strongly blame my parents. Why don't you graduate for marriage? If you do so, no need to argue, right? Honestly, it's so tough to watch you two argue. But I also don't want surprise from both of you. They listened to me and decided to try graduated marriage. Since then, my parents made 5 main rules. First, do your own housework. Don't rely on others. Second, work together in raising our child. Third, sleep in separate rooms. Fourth, holidays are free, not interfere with how the other spends. Finally, when you have something to say, make a list and be clear. Thanks to it, I no longer have to live as a messenger pigeon between my mother and father. When I used to deliver my mother's words, my father always said, "What? She said that!" I knew his anger wasn't toward me, but I felt it was to me. Now I can feel it and be afraid of the argument. Surely, graduated marriage is not perfect, but reducing over interference can prevent unnecessary arguments, like how you wash clothes or cook. Now, my father says, I know how difficult housework is. I can't disrespect her. My mother says, it's nice to have personal space, not to be together all the time, even while sleeping. They both agree. Making lists helps us to organize our thoughts and what we want to say more clearly. And it also shows where we agree and differ, so we can discuss calmly and constructively. Still, some of you wonder, does graduated marriage really work? Yes, it reduces pointless arguments, and some couples get along. In a survey all about, 39% of graduate marriage spouses said, we get along with taking our appropriate distance. By avoiding over interference, they realize again that they are separate individuals and can respect each other. Of course, marriage has various styles, and it's great. My parents' example is just one. So, if your marital life is peaceful, you don't need graduated marriage. But if we argue often, like once a week or twice a month, then it should be considered. If we have a final partner to spend the entire life together, look into graduate marriage as one option for your marriage. Even now, when I see people shouting and calling, my 3-year-old trauma flashbacks. The fear of losing my mom and self-discovery that problems are my fault. So, if you were struggling with a parent's goal like I was, please suggest graduated marriage. to parents and future parents. If you have many arguments, don't rush into choosing the course. Instead, please try graduated marriage. Never raise your lovely children with constant parental calls, and never traumatize your lovely children like my parents. Thank you.
Now we have a question and answer period. Mr. Kubota, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Kazuki-san, for suggesting a new option, that's what's called graduation marriage. Okay, so my first question is about the effectiveness of this suggestion. And in your speech, you said that 49% of graduate marriage spouse said that they're going to take an appropriate distance.
Yes.
But it means 49%, less than half,
Yes.
only less than half.
Yes.
So do you think that this suggestion would be really effective? What about the rest 51%?
So I mean, that is a miswriting for me. So I mean, the some couples they get along and more than before. And so the other more tweet that's about 61% of the graduate marriage spouses answered that it's it's normalized that we don't have many argument before. So that is my miswriting. Sorry.
So give me the exact appropriate number. What ratio is giving the positive or at least neutral opinion towards this graduate marriage?
So the appropriate number was for 61%.
Okay, 61. My next question. So you say that maybe if the parents are in current and causing battles so many times too often in front of children might recommend to have an option of the graduate marriage. But in life, it might be necessary quarrel for parents, like they were both thinking about their children's future, and well, there might be some kind of difference in opinion, but they're both thinking about their children. It might be a necessary quarrel. So how could we judge whether it is a necessary quarrel which the children should not touch, or the unnecessary quarrel which the children should suggest graduation marriage?
So yes, sometimes as you mentioned that sometimes the children's future and the children's future choices is needed actually. So well, I want to say just don't shout and be so emotional in front of the kids. So that's just traumatizing them. So of course that is a needed, necessary should be discussion, not quarrels. So the usually so children should not touch. They should touch such kind of their futures choices, the discussion, and that's because they also it's important to accept children's opinion. So they should touch, and so like the unnecessary quarrels like the too much salt or something. It's not necessary to touch the parents' quarrel.
Okay, maybe my last question.
Yes.
It's also about the borderline.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you draw the borderline between the divorce and the graduate marriage? Where, if their parents are doing the quarrel in front and the shouting in front of children, maybe they could have an option to do graduate marriage, but in the worst case, maybe it's better to get divorced. So where do we draw? Where is the judging borderline?
So, in the first of all, let me say the extreme example. So, like, the father, the husband attacks the punch to the wife. It should be divorced because it's dangerous, and both of the wife and mother and the children, and also. Yes, it should be divorced. However, that's just small the quarrel, only a month, and in the frequently in like once, twice a week or something. That's it usually comes from on the psychology. It usually comes from respectful. So graduate marriage provide that taking distance and the to be called that they are thinking. So just only the quarrels that it's gonna be a borderline.
Okay, so maybe if it's gonna be like a real domestic violence or some kind of physical attacks, then it's gonna be a different story. It's gonna be about the divorce matter. Okay, but maybe in some cases, like we could have like the moral harassment, something without physical violence, but maybe so time's up, so maybe we could have more discussion and a feedback session later on. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kibata. Thank you, Mr. Kenichi. Now is the judging time. The former half of today's contest is over. Now we will have an intermission for about 15 minutes. The latter half will start at 2 p.m. So please be seated by 13:55. Now the judges will leave this hall. Please stand up and give them a warm round of applause.日本語にて失礼いたします。これより約15分間の休憩となります。後半は2時より始まりますので、5分前の1時55分にはご着席ください。ただいまスクリーンにて左から順にスピーカー様へのコメントとスピーチコレクションの QR コードを映しております。ご回答をお待ちしております。ありがとうございました。